For many parents who lost their children in school shootings, hearing what happened in Texas brought back some painful memories. Now, many of them are reliving their own nightmares.
Yeah, Nicole Hockley lost her 6-year-old son, Dylan, in the Sandy Hook shooting, which is 10 years ago this December. Her other son, Jake, survived. Nicole decided to honor her son's memory by starting the Sandy Hook Promise, and she is joining us today to talk a little bit more about it. And thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. I can't begin to imagine how difficult this must be for you.
It's been a very difficult 48 hours, but certainly nowhere near as difficult as for the families in Uvalde.
What are you thinking today as you look at these images and I assume relive this?
It's been hauntingly similar to what happened in Sandy Hook in terms of the actions the shooter took, how this went down, the weapons he used. So this has been more triggering than most shootings for me and hit at a very deeper level. It really has opened up wounds that were not healed, but were healing. So it's been harder than usual.
You just mentioned about opening up wounds. I'm sure as the parents are hearing more and more of these details of what actually went down that day, it's probably they're heartbreaking over and over again. So what would you want to say to those parents who are experiencing something that you actually dealt with firsthand?
I think, going back, I wish that someone had told me to understand that there's no right way or wrong way to do anything after this, and you have to do everything in your own space and at your own time. And there's no shame in whatever choices you make. Everyone's path through grief is very unique, and whatever choices you make, it's the right thing for you at that time, but just give yourself the space to do that and the grace to do it with the dignity that you want and not to do what other people want you to do instead. You will find a way through, but it's going to be your unique path.
I know we talk about this each and every time after we hear about a mass shooting like this. Are you hoping that gun laws will eventually change?
I have never stopped hoping because I continue to see a lot of good conversations happening. I know that a lot's happened at a school and community level, a lot's happening at state levels, and there are some good conversations taking place right now in terms of bipartisan solutions. I think there's been a lot of desire and tiredness of waiting for change. So I think we're having new conversations with people that want to find a way forward. There are some people that are never going to want to find a way forward, let's be frank. But I think that there are some important voices at the table right now that do give me more hope that we might be closer to a solution.
And actually, speaking of hope, what type of action would you say would make you or parents actually feel safer about, sending their children to school?
It's horrible to think that anyone wouldn't feel safe sending their child to school. But then I think about my surviving son, Jake. He's now a senior in high school, and this is the only life that he's known is school shootings and active shooter drills where he's practicing for school shootings. And this is this entire generation. So I would really want parents to understand this is what we've done to our kids, but through our inaction, and really step up to the plate, lean in, get involved. Don't be hopeless. Don't be apathetic. Don't think someone else is going to solve it for you. Lean in, learn the signs of someone who's in crisis or might be going into crisis or self-harm or harm to others. Take action, teach your kids the same thing, and certainly demand action from your members of Congress and legislation. Just say that, we voted you in. Now you need to do your job and protect us.
So based on that, what is your message directly to politicians who do not support change?
I think my message to them is, why the heck don't you? People are dying every single day, and your inaction and inability to even have sensible discussions is getting in the way, and that's making the blood be on your hands. And this is a multifaceted problem. We do have issues of mental health, and we need more support and resources. We do have issues in terms of security, and we need to look at what evidence-based measures actually work there. And we have a problem with guns in terms of a complete lack of regulation around them, or restrictions in terms of what age someone can have or what sort of weapon they can have. We need to look at ensure that someone who is going to have a firearm is capable of handling that responsibility. So if you're not prepared to look at all of those solutions, then you're not really doing anything meaningful.
You also touched on the fact that everyone has their different way of grieving, but you actually turned your grief into action, starting the Sandy Hook Promise. What can you tell us about that mission?
You know, I'm very grateful to have helped launch Sandy Hook Promise and almost 10 years ago now. And this mission is we are on a mission to end school shootings and end gun violence and keep kids safe in their homes, their communities, and certainly their schools. We teach those warning signs and how to take action. We empower kids with the ability to create those safe environments for themselves. And we're having an impact. This is a model that absolutely works. We have tangible evidence of lives saved, suicides averted, at least 9 credible school planned school shooting plans that we have averted, and many more other interventions. So it's really just about preventing violence before someone picks up a firearm to hurt themselves or someone else. And then we have a legislative body where we focus on how can we create safer schools, better mental health supports, and gun safety.
Nicole, I can't begin to imagine how difficult this week has been for you, so I really appreciate you taking time and speaking with us today.
Thank you.
All right.